This is WVUE, Channel 8.
Now, WVUE presents a behind-the-scenes look at the world of sports with your hosts Ron Swaboda and Jim Gallagher. From WVUE, this is Sportsvue.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our special post-game edition of Sportsvue. Ron's at the Superdome. We'll get to him in just a moment. But first, the Saints and the Rams. Huge win for the Saints. You saw it right here on Channel 8. They take it 13-10, the final score. Let's get right to the highlights. In the first drive of this game, Saints made a very nice move in this one. Bobby Hebert goes to Eric Martin. 23-yard gain. They were on the move, and they kept it going. Same pair hooks up again to end the drive. Hebert across the middle to Eric Martin. The reliable one scores. It was 7-0 Saints. Saints drive again, though. This time, Hebert tries to force it in to Hobie Brenner. He bobbles the ball, and Leon White comes up with the interception. And he is rumbling. He is stumbling. This guy ought to be a fullback. Makes a nice return all the way out to the 40-yard line. Two teams exchange field goals eventually. Zendejas gets one. Morton Anderson comes through, drills the 27-yarder. It was 10-3 Saints at the half. Second half, though, 3rd and goal. Cleveland Gary goes in untouched, ties the game at 10-all. Saints are driving, though. Von Dunbar running. This time ball stripped right there. Rams recover. But the Saints defense came through time and time again. Ricky Jackson certainly has to be the player of this game. 3 sacks on the night. He picks up a big one. Do the Saints miss Lewis Lips? I don't think so, because Marcus Dowdell, just activated, comes through right there. Beautiful 34-yard return. Now the drive stalled. That sets up Morton Anderson. He comes through with what turned out to be the game-winning field goal. No different from Morton Anderson. 4 minutes left to go at that point. The Saints led 13-10, and they went on to win it. The final score, Saints take it 13-10, the final. And they are now, again, doing very well in the NFC. Now, moments ago, Ron Swaboda caught up with Bobby Hebert on the field for his reaction to the win.
Man. Yeah, it's a big win. You know, we like to win by more, but I guess a win's a win. You know, we had some opportunity. We just, you know, missed on a couple of them. You know, the one to Hobie, then I had West in the corner. And, you know, I just got to get the ball in there, and we just got to make more plays.
Looked like at times you could do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, we were able to keep them off balance, you know, with the run and the pass. And I thought our offensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage and made a big difference.
How about the head? Was he mashing people or what?
Well, he ain't afraid of nobody. He'll just go in there, give me the ball, let me hit somebody, he'll get the job done.
Was it more fun giving it to him or kneeling on it at the end?
Oh, well, I tell you what, it's exciting watching him run because you know he's going to fall forward, and he's a big-time player. I'm just glad he's with us.
Thank you, Bobby.
Big win for the Saints. They take it 13-10. The final, of course, we'll get right back out to Ron Swaboda in a minute. So coming up next, we will head out to the Superdome. We'll join Ron Swaboda. He is live at the Saints locker room. We'll also take a trip around the rest of the NFL, so stay right where you are.
Sportsvue is being brought to you by Miller Colders 29 and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
And the winning numbers are 32, 16, 21. Sorry about that, Chief. Hey, feeling lucky today? Then stop scratching and call Vito. Hey, Chief, I see you called Vito.
At Southern Travel, we've been taking people just like you to Las Vegas for over 15 years. And now, with our non-stop flights and fantastic packages, you too can be a winner. Call your travel agent or Southern Travel today.
You've been together a long time. Sure, you've had some problems, but she's always there when you need her. So even when she's unpredictable and has a mind of her own, you realize you've invested a lot together and she's worth holding on to. That's why you go to Auto City Parts and Repairs, specializing in engine sales and installation on imports, American cars and trucks. With over 200 import and domestic engine stock, you get high-quality service at a lower price. Auto City Parts and Repairs, because you still have a lot of ground to cover.
We tested in laboratories. We tested on the asphalt, in the parks, and on the road. We tested when it's 102 and there is no shade. And we found that nothing replaces fluids and minerals and quenches a thirst better than Gatorade. It's been proven again and again. But just to keep us on our toes, we tested over and over again in the highest court in the land.
Welcome back to SportsVue. The Saints take it 13-10, the final. You saw it all right here on Channel 8. They are now 4-2 on the year. Let's go live out to the Superdome and Ron Swaboda. And Ron, we all called it right this time.
Did we call it right or what? The Saints win 13-10. They do not cover the spread, and they really fought a tough one with the Rams that figured to be a blowout early on because the Saints scored the first time this year. They score on their first possession. Looked like they could do what they wanted to do. And they score 7-0, but they got down on the goal line. I think it was a 1st and goal from the 3, and in 3 tries, they come up dry when Hebert was intercepted on a tipped pass for Hobie Brenner. So it's a nice win and an important win for the Saints to stay in line with, at least stay within distance of the 49ers in the NFC West. But for some reason, the Saints figure out how not to put more points on the board when they really should have done that. Surprising to me, yeah. I expect a little more than that. Back to you.
But defensively, Rocky, you got to be very happy with the performance, especially of that descending player, Ricky Jackson. He was really the difference tonight.
Yeah, he was descending on Jim Everett tonight. Everett must have thought he was coming from the ceiling of the dome because he sacked him 3 times. They were all crucial plays. Jackson had a couple of other tackles in there. But, I mean, you know, Jackson is a descending player like I'm a concert violinist, okay? And, you know, you expect that from him. I saw where they had to take Swilling out. He went into the locker room with a bruised hip early in the ball game, or early in the second half, I believe, and came back out and played early in the first half. He went in. He played a good bit of the second half, but in that last series, he was not on the field. So, you got to wonder what's wrong with Pat Swilling, although they got some pretty good play out of Turnbull in that situation.
All right, Ron, I know you're waiting for the guys to get out of the locker room, so right now we'll come back to you in a minute, but right now let's take a look around the rest of the NFL. We'll get right back to Ron as soon as he's got a guess for us. Now, there is only one unbeaten team left in the league, and who would have thunk it? It's the Miami Dolphins. Miami hosted Atlanta this afternoon. Falcons led into the 3rd quarter. Chris Miller, nice pitch and catch to Andre Rison for the score. They led 17-7, but the Dolphins defense comes through. Bestie Jackson with the play of the game in this one. He steps in front of the ball. Chris Miller in trouble there. He is gone. Bestie Jackson takes it in for the score. That cut the lead to just 3. And the Dolphins then keep coming on. Mark Higgs with the game-winning touchdown. He takes it in short. Dolphins win it. They take it 21-17. In the 4th quarter, the Dolphins take it. They are 5-0, unbeaten, only team left in the league who is unbeaten. We go on to Kansas City now. A sea of red at Arrowhead Stadium. The formerly unbeaten Philadelphia Eagles dropped a tough one to the Kansas City Chiefs. Because of plays like that, the Chiefs simply did a great job on offense. They also shut down that guy, Randall Cunningham. The big sack by Derek Thomas coming through right there. Dave Craig, the Chiefs quarterback, was super today. Dialing a little long distance. Beautiful throw for Willie Davis. He rumbles into the end zone. Craig, 3 touchdowns, 270 yards, and the Chiefs upset the Eagles 24-17, the final score. Eagles no longer unbeaten. Finally, we go to the Meadowlands, next week's Saints opponent. The Phoenix Cardinals looking good for a while against the Giants. That's Chris Chandler to Ernie Jones for the score. But the Cardinals could not stop the Giants' running game, especially that guy right there, number 27, Rodney Hampton. A great run right here. He finished up with 167 yards on the ground, and the Giants rolled. The man who does the job, Phil Simms, was injured. He's sitting on the bench, so Jeff Hostetler comes off, starts this game, does a very nice job in relief of Phil Simms. This time he finds Ed McCafferty for the score in the end zone for the touchdown. Giants take it 31-21 over Phoenix. Cardinals now drop to 1-4 on the year. Next week, the Saints travel to Phoenix. Of course, the Saints win it tonight, and so they're looking very strong. Right now, okay, we got Ron Swaboda, so let's go back live to Ron Swaboda just outside the Saints locker room. Who do you got, Ron?
Well, Jimmy, we don't have a player as yet. They just opened the locker room. The cooling off period is over. It was a short one tonight, as you might imagine. I don't think Jim Mora had to rag anybody out about tonight's play, but kind of interesting, too. Lewis Lips goes on the injured reserve list. Earlier in the week, Jim Mora had reported a sore hamstring. He goes on IR. He is down for 4 weeks. He'll only miss 3 games maximum because they have that off week in there. But Marcus Dowdell, the rookie, gets his turn to run back punts tonight. And really, when it was tied 10-all in the 4th quarter, he breaks one for about 38 yards. Well, make that 34 yards. A huge return that eventually led to Mort Anderson's 30-yard field goal. That was the winning margin in this game. And earlier on, he had another big return on a punt that was called back when at least a couple of Saints were called for illegal blocks, but he looked quick, he looked decisive, he made all the right moves and all the right calls as a rookie running back kicks, and we had to be impressed seeing that. Jimmy?
And the other thing we talked about in the pregame special, Ron, that you touched on was the 2-minute defense. And again, the Saints defensive backs did a very nice job shutting down Jim Everett and Willie Anderson to those guys.
They did it when they had to. And again, you know what they got? They got some help from the offense that made a couple of key first downs in that 4th quarter down the stretch so that L.A. had to burn all their timeouts again. Ironhead getting the call there. And, I mean, he was devastating. And early in the ball game, he made some big blocks on some people. And later on, they gave him the football. And it looked like he wanted to hurt somebody there, but he banged a couple of big first downs so the Saints could just kneel on the football and run it out that way, which is how you want to win them.
All right, Ron, we're going to take a break right now. We're still waiting to get back to some Saints interviews. We'll go back out to Ron Swaboda live at the Dome just a couple of minutes, but right now we're going to take a break. Also coming up, we're going to take a look at the Tigers and the Greenies. But right now, check out all the NFL scores from this afternoon.